welcome to Council Catch-Up here on WSTO TV. I'm your host, Derek Westby, and we're here to talk about the June 24th, 2025 City Council meeting, and I'm here with Mayor Swadley. Welcome.
Morning.
So you got the call to order yesterday, but it looks like you had a public hearing to start off the meeting with.
Yeah, we did have a public hearing. On an annual basis, we have to have a public hearing to discuss any special assessments for road projects. And you might recall last year we changed our policy to only have special assessments on things like driveway aprons and carriage walks and things like that. It wouldn't really affect sidewalks like it used to. That was kind of a big point of contention. So instead of special assessing and the city sharing the cost with the homeowner, the city basically picks that cost up as part of our capital improvement project budget.
All right. And then you had the public comment period, and then the communications and presentation section.
We did have a presentation from Mike Gilbertson from Yahara Winds, and we've partnered with Yahara Winds for years to help manage our phosphorus and our stormwater runoff. So Mike kind of gave an overview of our partnership and really celebrated some of the successes that we've had as being part of that partnership.
Okay, and then we move on to old business, Ordinance 22 of 2025, relating to tobacco product businesses.
So the city was approached by the Wellness Coalition, and they provided some materials and educated us on some of the effects of vaping and the fact that we have a pretty high proportionate amount of shops that have vaping and tobacco dedicated sales only. So we adopted an ordinance that really puts limitations on where they can be located, distances from schools, residents, healthcare facilities, those types of things. Anybody that currently has one of those shops is grandfathered in, but if somebody wanted to open up an additional location, they would have to meet the criteria of the new zoning code. We weren't able to do that through the licensing, so the way we approached it was through the zoning.
All right. Then the next item was Ordinance 24 of 2025, relating to the Department of Safety and Professional Services.
So what this basically does is it kind of changes the name of the document or the process that we go through for commercial building plans. Currently, we have to go through the state. So if somebody has an addition or is putting up a commercial building, they have to go through and have the state approve the plans. This gives us another option where a private company that would be certified to approve those building plans could do that as well. Typically, that cost could be a little bit higher, but the turnaround time at times is much more efficient. And it really would be up to the building owner or developer to decide which path they would want to choose. And this is something that was brought to us by a building inspector.
Okay. Then under new business, we have Resolution 89 of 2025, relating to the city audit.
So every year, our Baker Tilly is our consultants that we use for our audit, comes in for the city side and the utility side. Last night we had a presentation that really just highlighted where we are in our audit process and talked a little bit about some of the funds that we have and the health of our fund balance and our whole budget as a whole. The city is in really good shape financially. There was nothing in the report that raised any concerns.
All right. Resolution 88 of 2025 is an amendment to the capital improvement plan for the asphalt overlay program.
So we shifted a few projects around for this year. Christensen Way and Mellom, those are streets that actually the Public Works is going to do some of the work in-house, some of the removal of the asphalt and some of the grading. They reuse the ground up asphalt to create a better crown in the road and recycle that material. We amended the budget in order to get the paving done, and some of the project down at the senior center we're going to defer until at least next year as we await Stoughton Utilities to do some work down there. So we're really just shifting things around to really try to better coordinate so we're not repairing some asphalt and then coming back after Utilities goes through and patching it.
All right. The next item was Ordinance 25 of 2025, Approval of a general development plan for 401 South 5th Street.
So 401 South 5th Street was most recently Smith Photography. Before that, it was a VFW many years ago. And we have somebody that purchased the building that really wants to do either an Airbnb or 2 rental units in the building. And it's kind of a non-conforming building in a location where we're really limited on what we can do. So we have to use a planned development for the zoning, which really allows us to customize the site. It pretty much is what it is. They won't be able to add on or change the footprint, but allows them to move forward and do some renovations with meeting a zoning requirement. There's really no on-site parking, and the setbacks aren't what they would normally be if it was a new construction, but since the building is existing, we want to put something in place that kind of governs how that work could be done on that building.
And was that on as a first reading?
Yeah, that was the first reading.
Okay.
Yep, and so is the next one.
All right. The next one is the first reading of Ordinance 26 of 2025, general development plan for part of the riverfront development.
Yeah, so we've been working with Alexander and Company. The redevelopment authority has invested quite a few hours working with them to develop a concept plan for at least the first phase. Alexander has expressed interest in doing the whole site now, so we're really excited about that. They were at the Plan Commission a week ago Monday, and we talked about their plan and some of the things that we need to do as far as putting a certified survey map together to identify 3 parcels that are going to be down there. Things like, where the buildings would be located. They did ask for a few exceptions on things like setbacks, which what they're asking for is pretty consistent with what's already down in that area. And then some of the green space requirements. We're really limited on what we can do because it's kind of a redevelopment area, and you have the river there and the road. So we did give them an exception on the green space. Usually it's 50% of the land. We're looking at 36% of the land, but we have additional green space available at Man Park right across the bridge. So we think that there'll still be good development for the folks that live there and people that want to use the trail on that side of the river and enjoy the green space that's there. So we're excited that this is another step, hopefully, to get us towards developers agreements so they can start construction next year.
All right. Resolution 90 of 2025 relates to Stoughton Utilities operating budget to fund repairs.
Yeah, so down at the wastewater plant, they had a piece of equipment that broke. Basically, it's kind of a chain down there. There's a lot of moisture, obviously, and corrosion because of the materials that go into wastewater. So they're really looking to amend the budget so they could do those repairs.
Okay. And then Resolution 91, Sewer Utility Extension Agreement between the City of Stoughton and Natter Commercial Properties.
So Natter Commercial Properties owns the land on the east side that has had billboards there for years. It's kind of like 3 parcels that are stacked, kind of from Main Street going back. And they're looking at developing a car wash in that area, and they're trying to coordinate the utility construction work to be done before the Department of Transportation paves that new section of pavement there. So we're working with them to get the utilities installed.
Okay. The next item was something that could go into closed session, was an offer to purchase a parcel on Glacier Marine Drive.
Yeah, so the council didn't take any action on this one. They gave staff direction to work with the group, the Grosso group, that has done additional work out on Glacier Marine to really better understand kind of the vision and the goal of their project out there, which is consistent with the conversations I've had with them in the past. They would like to build some more business incubator units. The ones they have out there now, I believe they have 6 buildings, and they're building 2 more. And those are for startup businesses, so they typically have an office and 1 or 2 overhead garages for storage or work area. The newer ones are looking to possibly have some 3 units. As businesses want to grow, they can stay there and just move into a different unit. So we'll see this one again.
All right. And then the last item on the agenda was an amendment to the agreement for Phase 2 of Kettle Park West.
Yeah, so we've been working with Ford Development Group. You might recall a few months ago we worked out an arrangement where the extension of Oak Opening would not be completed. The city would vacate the road that was platted there and then pick up some additional parkland, which creates a buffer zone between the neighbors and the pond and helps protect the wetland in that area. So we've been going back and forth with them about a couple other things that they're trying to do. There's 8 lots that have a deed restriction that they would like lifted so Lennar can build them. So we had to figure out what to do with this additional land. We think it might be suited for trails and potentially some parkland. They need to dedicate some additional parkland for a project they want to do on Cromwell Court, which is behind the True Hotel. For some apartments, they have to dedicate some parkland. So to bring this all together, we just really need to understand what land they're going to dedicate, what land is left over, and what that might look like. The City Council did go into closed session. When it came out, they took action to basically accept that land. Forward Development Group was looking to bank that land for future development to the west. City Council decided that really wouldn't be interested in paying them for that land. There's questions on whether that land would have even been developable and what that value would be. And we would more than likely take that land and really try to put in some prairie grasses and things to help protect the wetland and put the trail through there.
All right. That's all we had for the June 24th, 2025 City Council meeting. We'll see you next time on Council Catch Up.